What's up, brother?
Not much. What's going on?
I can't complain, man. I can't complain. How's things on your end?
It's good. Can't complain. Same.
That's good. That's good. You probably already know, but if you didn't, I esteem you as one of the greatest black fathers out
Appreciate.
here, man. How is that going for you?
Um, I, I take it day by day. I ain't gonna hold you, but just having a good support team too.
Hmm.
Just having my, and it's not even a big support team. Just having my consistent people I could rely on. Especially if something hit the fan, especially with work,
Yeah.
because being a teacher and having a kid is a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Now, what does teaching look like, and then coming home to handling your own kid?
Uh, it's a lot. I would say because I last year I taught elementary,
Okay,
so the load wasn't as much. I would say, because as one grade we only had 25 kids,
that's a lot.
and it was a lot. It was a lot then, but I would say once you got used to it, it got easier because
Hmm.
we was different. So I was only teaching math and science. So I only had like probably like 13 kids in one class. Then the next class I have like 15, 16, whatever. So it was fine for me. But now I jumped from 25 to 95 kids now. I'm
Whoa.
teaching middle school math, sixth grade.
How do you how do you how do you
It's a
I'm over
lot.
here I'm over here thinking like 15 is a
Nah,
lot. how do
it's
you
a
how do
lot.
you handle that?
Uh Honestly, during work is work, you know. I don't try to bring work home into my personal life. Um, while I'm dealing with one kid is different from dealing with a class of 25 and then going to the next block, dealing with a class of 23, then going to the next block, dealing with a class of 17, and then going to the next block, dealing with a
My
class of 20.
gosh.
So it's that is like you got a whole bunch of personalities. Just even remembering kids' names is a lot. Some of them got the same name. Um, so it's like I got, and then you got to, remember just like, what each student needs, especially dealing with IEP kids and stuff like that.
uh
So just, including like the differentiations and the lessons and making sure you have your manipulatives for them. And then coming home is like, I'm still teaching, making sure my daughter on point with her education, not forgetting her. So it's like it's a constant. I try to teach her more of the life lessons
Mhm, mhm.
and then work on the education piece because the life lessons for me is what matters more when you're home, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So,
With so how did you start this path of becoming a teacher?
uh, honestly, I did it to meet my daughter's schedule. So
Wow.
I low key want to be in a couple of years. I want to go for my 092, get into admin, being a principal and stuff like that, or assistant principal, or even dean, just to get my work my way up. Um, but I did the school route just to meet her schedule. So being a single
Hmm.
father and having sole custody, I needed a job that will align to what schedule I have with my daughter. So I was like, you know what? Let me, let me see how this teaching thing might, work out. But then like getting into it, I saw that it wasn't a lot of minority teachers
No,
um
no.
that's teaching our youth. And I'm dealing with the population of being, Puerto Ricans, Mexican, you got a lot of minorities, Black Africans, um, and even with Indian students too. So it's like
Hmm.
I'm dealing with a real mix, and when I was, and there's no shade or anything, but like even when I was teaching at my old school, I was the only Black male gen ed teacher there.
Wow.
So it's like I could connect with the kids more. I know exactly what they, going through. Don't get me wrong, we had great teachers that, that can teach and can adapt to that lifestyle, but to really understand
Different
that
ball
life,
game.
that's what made me different. So now that I'm working in a school where there's a lot of diversity and whatnot, I'm just like, all right, I could get used to this now.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
now, so now with having this different grade, this different load of students, you got a plan outside of school for school plans?
Yeah, I mean, we get prep time during the day. Um, I would say my Sunday is really just going over the material, making sure I know what I'm talking about. I can't be up there teaching them stuff that I don't know what I'm talking about. I would say it's not that much work at home if you get it done at work.
Okay.
You know, so if you could balance out, and I'll probably take like an hour or two. Like I'll wake up early Sunday morning, take like an hour or two, do my lesson plans, make sure I'm going over my material stuff I need to print for the week.
Hmm.
By the time my daughter get up, I'll be done. So
Wow.
yeah,
So like you become a teacher, but the reason you said that hits hard. You became a teacher to match the schedule of your daughter versus here's my take. I've always seen and I've always thought that our jobs should kind of be around the same times as our kids because if not, we got to find a babysitter or daycare, all that stuff. Could would you have taken a different job if you didn't have her?
that's a good question. um, probably, probably. I would say for my degrees, that I got, I probably would have went into more so admin work. Um, Probably for a profit organization. Um, to be honest, um, I always been in the school system though,
Mhm.
so I probably would have went instead of becoming a teacher. I probably would have went straight into admin work.
Mm.
If I had to, I probably would still been in the school, but I probably would have did start off like a dean of student or something.
So you always had this unction that you wanted to be in the school system.
Yeah, so like that was me teaching was like that was like a personal reason of just having my own situation, but then again, just giving the community and the kids something to look up, like look up.
Mm.
I've been there where you've been. It might not be the same situation, but it have its similarities, right? So it's like growing up, I never seen too many colored Black men as a teacher, and if they were a teacher, they was doing art,
Yeah, there
gen.
was a
They wasn't teaching you a regular, they wasn't teaching you Spanish, math, social.
yeah.
They wasn't doing that. So it was like, just seeing that growing up, I wanted, for especially for the young Black men and for young men in period, to see that you could come from a demographic of the hood or being raised in the urban um, community and still overcome certain things. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because a lot of every time I go in there, yo, you a sub? No, I'm not a sub. I'm a teacher. Like we're put on this pedestal that we're not supposed to be there, and that's how kids see you. So when you're in that position, you want to dominate that position.
Yeah.
Give them something to look forward to. So that's
Mm.
that's just where I come from. Because I tell them now, I still live in the hood. So
Yeah.
I know exactly what it's like. I know how it is when when you're raised by your grandparents. I know how it is when you're raised by your siblings. I've been there. I've done it. I
Mm.
know how your parents. If your parents been in jail and stuff like, I've been here, done that. So I know if you come in, you sad, you don't want to talk, you don't want to be involved in the activity. I could have that moment with you, pull you to the side and see what's going on, and whatever you say, I'm most likely I could relate to.
Mm.
So that I just wanted to have my students to have that outlet, you know.
That's huge because you said something and we both laughed, but I don't remember ever having a male black teacher that wasn't like some strange subject.
Yeah,
They were like teaching like not even gym. They were teaching like art or like
yeah.
something that like you're like, this is cool, but I'm probably not gonna use this in the real world. But you said something that I want to highlight that you're taking what you've been through and you're using it as like a everyday curriculum for another kid of color to see like, hey, I understand, but why do you think most teachers won't see a kid like struggling with knowing what they're coming from and kind of address it?
Um, I personally, I feel as though you have, and it's crazy because you have teachers that's been in the game for so long, but that can't manage the classroom. You
Hmm.
know, that scared to manage the classroom or allow or not set that tone from out of the gate, and then your classroom collapse halfway through the year.
Hmm.
So it's like I feel like it's more so confidence, just having that confidence, being firm from the get-go, because it's not going to be peaches and cream every day.
No.
Even your favorite student is going to get on your nerves. So it's like you just have to know how to pivot.
Hmm.
As long as you know how to pivot, you'll be fine. So if you dealing with a kid that um that comes in and having a difficult time, sometimes you can't pivot right in that moment. Sometimes you gotta, throw a little activity, for the kids to work on his own and be like, hey, can I talk to you outside real quick? And once bring them outside, you don't have to be that person that they talk to. You know,
Hmm.
you could be like, hey, do you feel comfortable explaining what's going on with you to me, or give them an option to go talk to somebody that they would talk to, like a social worker or another teacher if they're available or whatever the case may be. So it's like you need to know your students and you need to know how you pivot, because if you don't have a connection with your student, they're not going to talk to you. But if you see something's going on, that doesn't mean you can't intervene. You can say, hey, I see that you came in here, you was a little down, X, Y, and Z. If you want to talk to somebody, is there somebody I can call that's within the school to come help you with this? You know, and I just feel like certain teachers probably don't know how to do that.
You ever thought about writing a book, yeah?
I did a few times. I did a few times, but I mean, this school schedule picking up a lot of time. I don't hold you.
I was like
Really don't
going
hold you.
from like 20 to 90. It's like that is the book.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
but
big different.
do you think being a teacher, being in a school system gave you tools to be a good dad?
Um, Honestly, I think it's vice versa. I
Okay.
think I think being a dad gave me the tools to be a good teacher. To be honest, um, I feel like just learning my kid alone and how she handles certain things, she's not like me.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? She is far from me because I kind of taught her how to be herself.
Hmm.
Still be a kid on top of that. So it's like respect others, correcting, right? And but correcting without being defensive. You know what I'm saying? So like if my kid did something that got me upset, I'm not gonna bash her down and be like, oh, you did X, Y, and Z. No. I'm like, hey, can you try it this way? You know? Like, can you go about it this way? Give her options. Like, which one sounds better? Which one's, which one make you feel better about yourself at the end of the day?
I love
Even
that.
though my kid is 6, she knows a lot. So it's like I'm not getting no phone calls like, hey, your daughter is over here wilding in class. Like, I don't have to worry about that
Yeah, yeah,
because you're going to call me, but I can't answer because I'm teaching too. So
yeah.
it's like I'd rather put that into her at a young age. I put it into her at a young age to where I didn't have to worry about that.
That's what's
So
up.
now, teaching wise, a lot of the behaviors and stuff that I have during class, I'm not reaching out to parents first.
Hmm.
It's going to be an in class, situation that I'm going to solve before the end of the day. Now, if it's a consistent thing every day, then I'm gonna reach out to your parents. But if it's something I can control within the classroom, I'm gonna go about it that way because I already know what time it is. Your parents at work. You think I'm about to call your parents just to waste their time at work because you
Yeah.
can't get it together? You get what I'm saying? Like that, you're stopping their money, and
Yeah.
that's why I tell kids. I say, listen, you do X, Y, and Z, right? Regardless of what it is, your parents that have to stop what they doing because they at work trying to feed your family. You think they gonna be more mad at me because I'm calling, or they gonna be mad at you because I'm calling because of it? All right. So I'll be telling them like, if I have to call your parent in here, or the principal or whoever have to call your parents in here, they gotta take time off of work.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta find somebody to cover their shift for a couple of hours. They might not get paid because they might not have PTO,
Exactly.
so they losing money.
Yeah.
So it's like you want your parent that that works hard and come home to put food and clothes on your back and make sure you got a roof over your head, to have to stop and deal with what you're doing at school, knowing that they ain't raised you like that.
Ah. Eesh. But you know what? You're more than a teacher. That's why.
Yeah,
Because I've never in my life heard a teacher explain any of that to me. I just had the fear of God that if my mother had to get off of work,
yeah,
that it was over for me. Like you like like
yeah,
if the call happened, it's like if I gotta come off work, it's a wrap for
yeah.
you. Now, so I see this, I've seen it for years because our daughters are actually the same age.
Okay, okay.
And I seen it for years, and you've actually inspired me. I was gonna take a video and send it to you um the other day where I was taking out my daughter's hair. And
Mm.
I was like, my man is actually doing the hair, like, and
Yeah,
finessing it. How'd you get up to that?
man. Listen, YouTube, YouTube. Trust me, I was trash when I first started, but it was like when I first started doing my hair, it was, I don't really like people playing in my kid hair. That's
I
one.
hear that. I hear that.
Two, I'm not paying for it. That's another thing. Like that's another bill. So it's like
Yeah, yeah.
you got to work with what you got. So I was like, you know what? I'm about to go on YouTube and I'm about to figure this out for myself. So once I did that, um, I just started trying to do different designs. I know how to. I reached out to a couple of people. Like, listen, I need to learn how to braid. One of my homegirls, Angel, she kind of like tried to teach me how to, cornrow for real. So she
Jeez.
gave me a practice dummy. So I started on a practice dummy, and I'm forever grateful for that because if it wasn't for that practice dummy, I would have been hit. So I did that for a little bit, but then I just started getting tired of like redoing her hair every 2 weeks. So I'm like, you know what? Let me dread it. So her godmother ended up starting her dreads off and whatnot. And once they start locking, I was like, you know what? Let me try it. I got into that, went back to YouTube. got into it, and I'm just like, I think I could do it from now on because at the end of the day, it's just like it's a bond that I created with her.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's easy for me to maintain, and then on top of it, I don't have to redo it every 2 weeks. You know,
Ah, because she has the locks.
she got locks now, so it's like
Ah,
I could still style it up, you
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
but I don't have to do it every 2 weeks. So, and plus it take me a little bit long to do
yeah.
it. So, but with locks, honestly, it take me shorter time doing that than actually doing braids.
Because they're
So,
yeah, because they're mad at
yeah,
when I had locks, it was easier than having the braids. And I thought about I'm still thinking about should I just lock my daughter junk up because I don't want to keep paying
yeah.
someone someone to do it. Now you mentioned this bond that you have with your daughter, which is amazing. How do you think she's changed you?
Oh, a lot, oh, a lot. Just and I say that because before I was outside a lot. I wanted to do things. I wanted to be at every party. I wanted to be in the mix, doing things I wasn't supposed to be doing and stuff like that. But honestly, once I had her, she sat me down. I couldn't really do much, you know.
Hmm.
And then having, you know, her mom not being consistent, I really couldn't do much after that. So it's just like I was just more so like I had to put her first. So
Hmm.
even though I still had to put myself first, I had to put her situation first. So I had to set that foundation for her so that way she wouldn't see the absence of people in her life. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, wow.
So I had to keep something consistent around her, regardless if it was just me, her godmothers, her godfather, and stuff like that. You know, her aunts, her uncles, and stuff like that. But it had to be consistent at home first. Then
Hmm.
once I got to that, I wanted, and then especially with court, I done went through the whole loops. I
Wow.
was fighting for 4 years.
Wow.
So I no lawyer, no nothing. Just went through that whole process. Just so if anybody need help, I could I help you with that. But went through the whole process. But it was just like I had to be consistent. So I would say like just just showing up.
Hmm.
That's like the important thing about it. But you just really have to put in that time for that. It's a want. You got to want to do it. So that's
The thing that gets me though is so I was born in Hartford, raised on Vine and Martin Street. I don't recall anybody on those streets ever having a dad.
mm,
Like an active dad. Like maybe he may come around like on a holiday or something like that. I
yeah.
don't recall anybody having a dad. So how do you come to the point where you're like so you said you had to step up, you had to be consistent. Most men don't think like that. So how did this switch come on for you to say like, hey, I have to actually change my life for her?
To be honest, child support.
Mm.
I done seen a lot of my homies, a lot of my friends, like go to jail because of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like the saying goes, it's easier to keep her than have to pay for it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So if you're using that terminology, it's easier to be a dad than have to pay for it because
yeah,
a lot of people ain't seeing their check. And then when they get the money taken out and they like, yo, how can I live off of this? Well, one, you're having 4 or 5 kids and you ain't doing
yeah,
none of them. So they eating your check. But
yeah.
even with one or two, they taking money. So at the end of the day,
Mm.
I'm like, man, y'all ain't about to get me. And even with child support, you're put in the system. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a
Yeah,
system with that. So it's like, they're going to catch up to you regardless. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. You don't
You're
get
going to get,
away.
you're either going to go to jail It's gonna come out your taxes. It's coming. It's coming for you, regardless of how you look at it. It's coming for you. Why not? And you're
Hmm.
not missing nothing.
No.
Honestly, it's cheaper.
But the other side of it is you also damage a kid's life if you're not in it.
That too, and that's what I'm trying to work on now, even with my kid. Like she be wanting to go with her mom and whatnot, and I personally I can't really speak too much on that because I don't even know. So it's just
Mhm.
like you know, just even having that I'm a single dad, so it's just like just having someone being consistent as that mother model is. I only have a godparents, a godmother.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if she coming home crying because you ain't come pick her up on that weekend, or you not around, or you go ghost for 2 months, whatever the case may be, how am I supposed to deal with that? You know what I'm saying? Like now
Yeah.
you put me in
Yeah.
a whole emotional state of trying to deal with it, and I'm upset because she got to feel for that. You know what I'm saying? So she's upset, making me upset, and our upsets are two different things.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
wanting to track you down, but she just want to hug you. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying?
man.
So
Yeah.
it messed with me emotionally because regardless of the fact, it was the shoe was on the other foot. I wouldn't want my kid to go through that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
you got to be mature about things, and you got to I don't know. I can't really speak for other dudes because I know a lot of great fathers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's doing their thing. But I know a lot of great fathers that got better baby moms too.
And that
That's not
kills it.
allowing them to do a great thing. So
Jeez.
it's
That's
different aspect. For me, I don't have to worry about that.
yeah.
But it's different. It's different aspect.
But you fought, but so the thing that you did that makes the difference also is you fought for 4 years
Yeah.
versus hey, this not working out, so I'm about to just let it be what it is. Like you actually was like, no, I'm gonna stick around and
Yeah.
fight for my baby girl. So my last question is, what advice would you give a black father who's like, I'm trying, but I know I could put more out? What advice would you give them?
I would say go to court. Go to court.
Mm,
If if your child's mother being difficult, go to court. The
mm,
court would rather honor the fact that you're going to court, you're filing the paperwork, they'll work with you. If it's something, because a lot of people don't understand, you don't have to deal with that person. You get what I'm
mm,
saying? A lot of people are so stuck up on the relationship or whatever came with it or how stuff used to be. And now it's turmoil and toxic. You don't have to deal with that person. Go to court, get your joint custody. If you don't want to be on child support because you got joint custody, you don't have to. If
mm,
you want to throw yourself on child support just because you know your schedule is crazy, but you want your child every other weekend, or you want your child at least, you know, 2 days out of the week, you have every choice to do that. But if you really want that, you need to fight for it. This is a
mm,
female state. However, there's ways to get around it.
mm.
You know, as long as you putting in the effort, you doing what you need to do, bring yourself to court. That's it. That's the best advice I could tell you. Because if you want to still keep playing this game, oh, you can't get her this week, or you got to go through the grandma just to get your kid, or go through the
Yeah.
aunt or a third party just to get your kid. Like, bro, that's the amount of time you spending in that. You could be at the courthouse like, listen, I want this day, this day, this day. File your paperwork, get it waived, or pay your fee. Go in front of the judge, go to the court martial, send it out. She got to be at court.
Mm.
She don't show up, she's in contempt. She got to come.
Yeah, I didn't think
She
about
have to
that.
come. You know what I'm saying? So once that process, once you get that process, start rolling. Keep all your documentation. You know, keep your text messages. Keep your see now. Another thing I would say, your receipts is going to be considered a gift. They don't matter
Hmm.
as long as you showing effort that you're trying to be around and be a dad. Bring that with you. You know,
Wow.
bring the phone records, bring the text messages. You're not going to present them like you're in trial, but it will help you because you could say, on this day, I did X, Y, and Z. On this day,
Hmm.
I did this. I try to get in contact with her. On this date, I try to do that. Now, let's say your baby mom makes more than you. If you did want to do child support, she will have to pay you regardless.
Wow.
But you have to compensate the time. And that's if you got joint custody. If you're doing it 50-50. So if you're doing Wednesday to Sunday, and she's doing Sunday to Wednesday morning, it gotta be 50-50. And
Hmm.
how child support goes is basically whoever makes more money on top of that too.
Wow.
You don't just get put on child support, just get put on child support. If you wasn't there, then that's different.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
if you get cash assistant, you automatically go on it. But if you're working and let's say your BM have a better job, higher paid job than you, and she wanted to do child support, they're gonna sit you down. They're gonna go through your financial. They're gonna go through her financial. They're gonna map it out like, okay, you will have to pay him this amount of money for this much if you want to do child support. And they're gonna be
Hmm.
like, why? Because you make more. So 9 times out of 10, fathers do tend to make more money. That's the reason why they go on child support.
I
You
never
know?
knew that. Wow.
Yeah. It's a
Wow.
process. It's a long process at that too. So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, my man, I thank you for coming on. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some people who get a lot of good information from this. Where could people find you at?
You can find me on Instagram, um, at GQ De La Cruz 26 underscore 26. I think I don't know. Or Facebook Stefano Nitty. That's where I'm at. So yeah, just
Nah,
tap in if you ever need anything. If you ever get court papers and you need to walk it through. If you ever need to sign your kids up for school, whatever the case may be, and if you ever need a math tutor, I'm around.
now, do you do online math tutoring? I think somebody I know is looking for one.
I don't, to be honest, but I'm not charging.
Hmm.
So I know contents from fourth grade, fifth grade, and sixth grade. So if you need a little 30-minute session with your kid, whatever, we could FaceTime. I could walk it through. We could meet up at a park, sit down, whatever type of strategy you need, we could tap in
I
because I'm
love
not
that.
charging.
I love
So
that, man.
yeah,
Well, I hope you get a time in this year to write the book. I hope you
yeah,
get because I think there's so much that could come out of that. I know a bunch of authors if you need whatever, but if you get the time, I would love to see you write a book or do a podcast or something because you have a lot of information that's lacking in the Black community and
yeah,
lacking like with Black men in general. So my man, we will talk. Thank you for coming on here. I'll make sure
or
people follow you, and if they need math tutoring, all that stuff, I'll make sure to lead them your way, my man.
copy.
All right,
Appreciate you for having me.
appreciate it, my brother. Take
All
care.
right, easy.